Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a Chinese American go after one who was born in China, who lives in China and moves to America? Have you ever seen Chinese Americans block opportunities or go after the Chinese person who moved into America, possibly to start a business, and say, we need to boycott those Chinese businesses? We are Chinese American, or they may not even say that they're Chinese American. They may say that they're just American. They can say that, but do you see this going on? Do you see Caucasians in America who were born in America go after a European who has moved into America, a white European? Do you see them going after them, saying that we need to boycott the businesses of these Europeans? They are not part of us. Now, if you have a business, no matter who you're getting the service from, if the service is poor, sure, don't go back. But for anyone to demonize an entire race of people or people who come from an original land that the one who was born in America came from, even if they don't claim it, that's mental sickness to go against your own. But when you don't view those people from the other country as your own, it's easy to dismiss them. It's easy to go after them. It's easy to wish doom on them. And if you say, well, what are you trying to get at, Scurv? Well, the bottom line is that there are black people who are born in America. May I say it that way? We have so many organizations and divisions. It's hard for me to even say. I had to hesitate and think ahead of time, because black people in America, I'll say it that way, black people in America are so divided, right? Black people in America, and I am born in America, for those who don't know me. For those who know me, who may say I'm a turncoat because I moved to West Africa, got my citizenship here, built a home here, and live here permanently. Have I untied myself from, that's what I meant to say, from America? Have I distanced myself from America? That is my root. But I was also taught by my parents, who had a little bit of wisdom, that we are all one. This was never an issue in the black community. But I will say that too many of us have been inhaling those poisoned, toxic, algorithmic smoke from sucking on the wrong breast of social media that has twisted our minds against each other. And those who think that way, to go after or say you're not a part of, I'm gonna say it, get mad and get in the comment section and call me all kind of names. You all are stupid, narrow-minded, and you're killing off our unity. And you are doing the bitter, or you're doing the work. Well, I get bitter. Oh no, I was meant to say you are bitter. but you're doing the bidding of the slave master, your present day slave master. Yeah, and they love it. They're not complaining about it. They love it because they can relax on their lazy boy and sit back and watch us destroy ourselves. Who in their right mind goes after their own? Well, see, you had to be convinced that African people born in Africa, black African people born in Africa, are not part of you. You want to be the teacher's pet. You want to be the favored one. And you feel that anyone from Africa, the motherland, is a threat to you. Now, I'm going to speak on both sides of this because I know somebody's getting angry listening to this, but I'm telling the truth. You feel that somebody's going to get in line and take your reparations. You feel that all of the work that you did and all of the work that you put in, somebody else is going to slide in and get the benefit from. Okay, work has been put in. Those in America, whether you claim that you've already been there, or those who were brought in slavery toiled endlessly to build America on the good side to what it is, while suffering, right? But who wins when we go against each other? Who wins? Everybody else is building. Everybody else has their community. But within these communities and organizations and factions who claim being so exclusive and not part of the African struggle, you still have a battle to deal with. And when any African comes from Africa to America, they're looked at the same way by the oppressor. Now let's speak of it from the other side, which many who are born in America will say. They will say the Africans that come here feel better than us and they don't like us. They say we're lazy. They say we make babies and don't want to take care of them. They say that we sit around. Now, see, there are some who are like that. And as far as the Black Americans are concerned, not all of us dislike those who are born in the motherland. Somebody's whispering into both of our ears to have us dislike each other so we don't have a unified front, which weakens us. Do you feed a steak to a baby? You would never do that. A baby's digestive system can't handle a steak. But if you chop it up in little teeny bite-sized pieces and mix it in with the vegetables, you're not going to have a problem. So, white supremacy doesn't want us to be that big unified steak. White supremacy doesn't want us unified. Both sides, if we can say just both sides, because we have Africans in Brazil, all through South America, Central America, the Caribbean, worldwide, everywhere there is a country or place to live, we are there. Every area of expertise in the world that is going on with technology and agriculture, everything, we're a part of it. As a matter of fact, most of what was invented is from us. But they've taken it from us. We are the biggest threat. Our unity is the biggest threat. And I'm going to say it again before I move on. Any organization that is black, that goes against a united black front, is an agent, is compromised, is motivated by the enemy and oppressor of all of our progress. But they can't seem to get it through their stupid heads. They'll cuss the African, but they'll hold a cell phone where the materials inside come from Africa. If you hate Africans so much, don't partake in anything they invented or any of the resources that come from the motherland. Now, I was born in America. In April of 1963, in Manhattan, Washington Heights, at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, right across the street from the Audubon Ballroom where Malcolm X was later shot. About a year and a half. Was it a year and a half? No, it's just under 2 years. Matter of fact, I was less than a mile away as a child when that happened. Okay? Through my father, who is from Jamaica, there lies the connection to Ghana. Because 93% of all Ghanaians, or all Jamaicans rather, come from Ghana. So there you go. My wife's great-great-grandfather from Ghana, named Yaya, sits on family property buried in Jamaica. There's a body there to prove it. My mother was born in Bluefield, West Virginia, and raised in Columbus, Ohio, after the age of 2. So, I can't see it any different. Because the slave ship that dropped off many of its occupants dropped off people in South America, dropped off people all through the Caribbean and into America. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't have been here before, but the bottom line is the planet is Africa. We're all over this globe before anybody else came here. So what's the point? Why are you threatened? Why do you see your brothers and sisters from the motherland as the enemy? See, it runs deep. Because many who were born in America, many, not all, I'd like to think it's a minuscule amount, but they're realizing that the world is a big place, and America is not even on the list of the top 10 places to live. And when they think of or see the propaganda fall of the hungry kids with the ribs sticking out, that's not really true. When they see that the Europeans are being kicked out, and we have brothers like Abraham Traore in Burkina Faso and the great things he's doing, many people in America will look back and say, in the middle of the night, what in the hell are we doing? Yeah, you built the country. Let's just say the land is yours, right? Because we're getting so many misdirected in information that people can't prove, or they're caught up in emotionalism and they're mad. Then if it's yours, take it back. Take it back. Go fight the US government and take back your land. But why do you come after Africans when they're no threat to you? Who took your land if it's your land? You want to boycott all African businesses in America? How positive. Why don't you reach out and forge an alliance between America and the various countries in Africa and expand your mind and have a connection that Memorandum 46 does not want you to have. Now, of course, if you're part of these groups, surely you have heard of Memorandum 46. Oh, now if you haven't, you need to Google that. I have it on my site, Lancescurv.com. That intercepted government communication that wasn't meant for the world, that proved that the US government does not want Black people in America to unite with native-born Africans in Africa because they're afraid that we will forge alliances and make businesses and become stronger and more independent in America and become more skilled because we were trained here under the slave master. But you can't see that. They want you to think the way you do. They want you to carry on against your own brother and sister the way that you do. They love it. Because like I said, you don't see anybody else on the planet doing foolishness like this. Because it chops us all up like little pieces of steak to be easily digested by the oppressor. And you don't like me saying this. So, you're waiting for reparations. This is your land. What are you doing in this land called America? Because I know many black people in America, in the whole West, in Canada, and in the Caribbean, who backbite each other, gossip on each other, will turn each other in for nothing. You want a job and you go against your own black brother or sister as black Americans and cut them down and run to the so-called supervisor or boss man, as you like to say, so you can elevate yourself. Not all, but some, but too many. This is how you carry on. This is the sickness that many of us have. And they've injected a new manner of continuing this sickness: social media. And they feed certain videos. They even have people that put stuff out and they will push those videos in the algorithm, showing you time and time again some misdirected African who may say, from Africa, who say, oh, Americans are lazy, oh, this, that, and you see it and now you think it's everybody. And many who are in Africa will hear many in America who are saying, oh, they're not us, part of us. The Africans are not part of us. Have you ever taken a DNA test to see? I don't know how accurate at all they are, but you might have a heart attack when you get the results. Because no matter where you are, who you're related to is not severed, it's not diminished, just because you live in a different part of the world. Just because you go back 3 generations, 4 generations, go back 10, go back 20. What's back there? Like I said in a previous video, we're like men in drag, trying to pretend that we're a woman. No matter how much you call yourself a certain name, no matter how much you reject what you really are, you can't change who you are. And just like the LGBTQ community, many there, especially with the ones who are the cross-dressers and the trans, I'm saying it, they want to pretend and act like, or come up with any excuse to deny themselves from who they really are. You a man, oh, I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. You come up with all kind of excuses. But meanwhile, while we fight and bicker and go against each other, the world is making progress and moving on with their unity. See, our unity is not acceptable. The biggest nightmare for your oppressor is to see us unified. And when I say your oppressor, it could be to an African too, born in Africa, and a black man or woman born in America, right? Because the colonizer is worldwide. And he's got his finger up everybody's anus, just like when you put your fingers in the bowling ball to toss that bowling ball to knock over the pins. The pins are standing strong in unity, and here comes the bowling ball to knock it down. They use media, social media, the written word, and we spread it like it's the truth. But we're only hurting ourselves. The opportunities we can give ourselves by unifying with those of us who are related and connected. But we don't want to see that. So we please the slave master in America by rejecting our own and sit down waiting for reparations that we'll never get. Never get. This oppressor is a diabolical, evil entity. And you know what? He's winning. But the bottom line is that when you realize it, it just might be too late. Because what power do we really have in a system that is created to destroy us globally? The only power we have is the unification of each other. And that's not acceptable. So that's why our minds are poisoned by the crack pipe of self-hate that so many of you are addicted to. You blame that. What is the African doing to you? It's the same spirit that makes you want to bleach your skin. To look like who? Straighten your hair to look like who? Huh? And there are Africans in Africa who do the same thing. They're suffering that way, but they're playing us against each other. The result is self-hate and will never unify. Because when you see your brother or sister from another country who looks like you and you hate yourself, you're automatically gonna hate them. It's easy to pull the trigger on so many different ways and levels. But what do I know? I've just been around this earth for 62 years and I've seen it damn near from birth. Like I always say, I knew it was gonna be a hard life this time around when I came out my mother's womb and that white man smacked me a little too hard. I said, oh hell, here we go. I see the battle I'm up against. So what is it gonna be? We're gonna keep on arguing, which is embarrassing. There's some people who are like, look at these niggas. They're fighting against each other. They're on a sinking ship. And instead of taking their fingers and blocking up the holes on the sinking ship, they're fighting each other while they sink. And you think you are making progress because you bought a nice home, a nice car, have a nice profession, working up around the other people? How long is that gonna last? We're as strong as the weakest link in the chain. And there are a lot of weak links out here mentally. Well-dressed, well-spoken, dumb as hell. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about what I just said. But boycotting African businesses in America. Why don't you go after Walmart? Why don't you go after the bigger corporate entities that suck your blood dry and get rid of you before you can even retire? These laws that are twisted against us. The enemy don't care where you come from. He may act like he favors one over the other, but that's only to turn you against your own. Anything that doesn't result in unity is evil and planned against us. And we're falling into that plan. We're falling right into place. And it's making your oppressor happy. Come at me. I dare you. Much love. Lancescurv out. Leave it all in the comments section. Peace.